Sean Diddy Coombs. Narcissist, Part 3. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. Now, we're going to look at some of Mr. Coombs' previous behaviours. He's attempted to rebrand himself as Brother Love in recent years. Might that be seen as some form of deluded grandiosity, given what you're about to hear? Coombs has attempted to rebrand himself as Brother Love in recent years, even changing his middle name to Love. But he has a prolonged history of violence dating back to the 90s. He's never been convicted of a serious crime, but has repeatedly been accused of having violent encounters with everyone from his exes, Ventura and Gina Hinn, who alleged physical abuse in 2019, to executives Steve Stout and rappers like J. Cole and Drake. Back in 1991, Coombs co-promoted a celebrity basketball game and concert at a city college of New York where 9 people died and 29 people were injured. The gym had a capacity of 2,730 people, but as many as 5,000 people showed up to the event, which did not have enough security to control the throng. After organisers closed the doors and stopped letting attendees in, people outside broke the gymnasium's doors and rushed the lobby, causing a stampede. Then New York City Mayor David Dinkins' administration published a 67-page report called A Failure of Responsibility that cited Coombs for hiring inadequate, inexperienced security. Coombs settled a slew of lawsuits from family members of attendees who died at the gymnasium, finalising the last suit in 2000. Perhaps that failure to adequately organise the event is demonstrative of his absence of accountability, that he doesn't care about people, or perhaps he was just subject to incompetence rather than being a manifestation of a lack of empathy and accountability. Coombs and Death Row Records co-founder Marion Suge Knight were once friends, but the animosity that fueled the violent rivalry between Death Row and Bad Boy started once Knight's friend and security guard, Jake Robles, was killed outside an Atlanta nightclub after an argument with the Bad Boy camp. The men were celebrating musician Jermaine Dupri's birthday at Platinum City Club when, as then Fulton County Sheriff Deputy Chris Howard told police, an argument began between members of the Bad Boy and Death Row Records entourage. Howard said that he escorted Coombs and his guests outside to leave the club and thought the coast was clear to allow Knight and his entourage to leave. But as Howard told the Los Angeles Times, Knight's partner was just about ready to get into the limo when all of a sudden Puffy's guys came from around the corner and one of them had a gun. Howard said he chased the man who handed the gun to another person who shot Robles 2 or 3 times. According to the Times, the person who then jumped into a car carrying Coombs' associates. Robles died weeks later at an Atlanta hospital. Coombs has denied involvement in the shooting, which Knight reportedly held him responsible for. Whilst there's no direct evidence that he was the one that pulled the trigger, it was amongst his group that were engaging in violent behaviour, which demonstrates an absence of accountability and an absence of emotional empathy. In 1998, Coombs and 2 other men attacked Steve Stout, physical violence, sense of entitlement, absence of emotional empathy, after the music executive, then Naz's manager, erroneously sent MTV a version of Coombs and Naz Hate Me Now music video which contained scenes depicting Coombs as Jesus Christ being crucified. Coombs wanted the crucifixion scene deleted from the video. Necessity of assertion of control. And was enraged that it played on air. Heated fury? Stout says that Coombs and 2 men barged into his New York City office, lack of boundary recognition, and attacked him with a champagne bottle. He was charged with second-degree assault and criminal mischief. Stout claims that his arm and jaw was broken in the attack, but Coombs denied any bones were broken to MTV, also telling the network, I basically went to his office, and what happened in his office I really can't speak about, but I can say this. The way I handled myself in his office was completely wrong, and I've since apologised to Steve about that, and I felt like, I just disappointed myself. Coombs was sentenced to a 1-day anger management class. Whoopie-fucking-do. That's going to do a lot if it's going to be aimed at the ignited fury of a narcissist. In late December 1999, Coombs and his bad boy signee Jamal Shine Barrow were partying at Club New York when Diddy knocked a drink out of Matthew Scar Allen's hands. Allen got into an argument with Coombs and someone threw money in Coombs' face. Allen also threatened to kill Shine. Prosecutors alleged that amid the fray, all 3 men drew guns, and Shine shot 3 times in the crowded bar. 3 people were shot. Coombs, who was arrested with 2 9mm guns in his car, was charged with 4 weapons charges and for bribing his driver to claim that the guns were his own. Criminal activity, sense of entitlement, lack of emotional empathy, lack of accountability. Furthermore, the attempt to avoid suggesting that it was him that was carrying the guns also shows an attempt to nullify what might be a threat to control. A witness at the trial said she saw both Shine and Coombs shoot their weapons, but Coombs was acquitted on all charges, while Shine was found guilty of 5 of his 8 charges and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. In 2013, Coombs was allegedly involved in an altercation with J. Cole at a 2013 MTV VMAs after-party. Multiple sources allege to Complex that a visibly intoxicated Coombs accosted Kendrick Lamar about his fiery verse on Big Sean's Control, where he bragged he was King of New York. Coombs allegedly tried to pour a drink on Kendrick before Cole intervened and they got into a fight. The New York Post, however, reported that the scuffle occurred after J. Cole was saying inappropriate things to Sean Coombs and his girlfriend Cassie. A witness told them that some pushing and shoving happened, no punches were thrown, but it was a visible disturbance. Both men immediately denied a fight took place, though Cole later rapped, "My last scrap was with Puff Daddy, who'd have thought it," on 2021's Let Go My Hand. Again, may well show the response of ignited fury to a threat to control. In December 2014, Coombs allegedly punched Drake over the rights to the beat that became Drake's 0 to 100. Allegation of physical violence, lack of emotional empathy. The Miami New Times reported that the two got into an argument outside of LIV nightclub during DJ Khaled's event for Bars weekend. Words were allegedly exchanged and reportedly then blows, with Coombs telling Drake, "You will not disrespect me." Coombs has denied punching Drake, denial, first line of the twin lines of narcissistic defense, telling the radio show The Breakfast Club, "I didn't do nothing to Drake. Drake is my friend." In June of 2015, Coombs got into a scuffle with then UCLA assistant football coach Sal Alozzi. TMZ reported that Coombs was present during a UCLA practice where Alozzi chided his son and then UCLA player Justin Coombs, telling him, "I don't care if your dad's here, this is UCLA, I'm going to treat you like I treat everyone else." After the practice, Coombs and his son reportedly went to Alozzi's office where an argument ensued, heated ignited fury, and Coombs grabbed Alozzi. Lack of boundary recognition. According to one account, Coombs was forcibly removed from Alozzi's office and then swung a kettlebell at an intern. A rep for Coombs Enterprises noted, "The various accounts of the event and charges that are being reported are wholly inaccurate. What we can say now is that any actions taken by Mr. Coombs were solely defensive in nature to protect himself and his son." Gina Huynh alleges abuse. In 2019, Coombs' ex, Gina, told blogger Tasha K that Coombs physically abused her throughout their 5-year relationship. Physical abuse, lack of emotional empathy, lack of accountability. She claimed he once stomped her on the stomach, causing her to lose her breath, and also punched her in the back of the head. She told Tasha K that he was mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me. He would always compare me to Cassie, triangulation, and tell me that I'm the bad one, belittlement, and she's a good one. She also said that everyone in Coombs' circle allowed the abuse to occur. On November the 16th, Coombs' ex, Cassie Ventura, filed a federal lawsuit against Coombs in New York, alleging years of assault. Her lawsuit contained graphic allegations of Coombs raping her in 2018, physically abusing her, intimidating her, and making her have sex with male escorts while he watched. The lawsuit also alleges that he blew up somebody else's car to deter them from seeing Cassie romantically. Coombs denied the allegations and alleged that Cassie tried to blackmail him for $30 million before filing the lawsuit. A string of allegations there, repeatedly denied by Coombs, but it does show a pattern whereby he has difficulties keeping his temper, that it often results in arguments and physical violence, which suggests the repeated presence of heated, ignited fury. It shows a lack of boundary recognition, behaving with a sense of entitlement and a lack of accountability for those behaviours. In the circumstances, this certainly does paint a picture, and of course we ended there with the allegations that were put forward by his ex, Cassandra Ventura. We're now going to examine those allegations in greater detail in part 4. Join me there.